We're doing Spring Courtyard, the bamboo house. I did step 23 and I tried to film it, but it was coming out, it came out wrong. So I did finish it. And so I just want to show you the steps here. I did the faucet first, which is part of the sink. And then you use H4 on the four corners and C6 on the bottom, and it eventually was done and it came out like this. So all the little parts that I made previously belong on the sink, and there's a piece of paper that's got to get glued under the sink to make way to hold that little bowl with the fruit. And that's what the finished product looks like. But now I'm going to do step 24, which involves using these little cutting boards. I gotta poke them out and use more sliver of this meat stuff that is on here on the frying pan, and lay them out and glue them to the cutting board. Then take a different cutting board, and I have to use L68 is on paper, you gotta cut it out and roll it, and then L23, cut it out and roll it and put those little things. So I'll show you the finished product. Okay, here's the two little slabs of meat. They're gonna go on the cutting board. I put glue already. Here's the two little slabs of meat on the cutting board. Probably gonna make a counter that this is gonna go on. Okay, remember I said L68 was paper? I was wrong. It's in this little bag, L61 through L80. It's this little plastic piece of whatever this is supposed to be. Some kind of food. Looks like okra with red meat in there. Okay, so I cut out the little two pieces, but the next part says L23, and that's in this bag of, see the little red flowers? You gotta cut two pieces of that and glue it on top of those green pieces, and then lay them on the cutting board to make it look like that. So I just cut off the two little pieces that are going to go on top of these, that's going to get glued to that, and I'll show you the finished product. Okay, that's the finished product. Looks good enough to eat, right? I guess I'm going to make sushi next. Is step 26. Two more of the pieces of that rubbery stuff that I showed you, and you got to cut out paper and wrap it around there and make sushi. Just to show you, I'm getting the cutting board C14 off of this wood. On the paper you'll find 270. That's the wraparounds for this sushi. There's an extra one in case you make a mistake. Just wanted to show you real quick. I did one, and I find it easier to put the paper on first. This way you use that to measure how big you have to cut it. I put a little glue on the cutting board, and I'm going to put the sushi on there first, and then I'll put the meat on top. It'll be easier that way. Let it dry and I'll be right back. Look, it almost looks real. Sushi. Okay. Next step is this one. So it says we have to use L4 or I4 for the cutting board. Those little balls, L74, and then that flower, L23, to make stuffed peppers. I just want to show you this because when I use the cutting boards for this one, for step 24, I didn't realize there was the third one. There's the third one, and that's one we're going to use now. Alright, here's peppers on the cutting board. I'm going to stuff them. There's your stuffed peppers. Now we're going to work on step 28. Get the pieces from this bag here, which I dumped into this box here. So it's these two pieces. Just like the picture shows. I put the little round ball into the bigger one. And later on, I guess it's going to be a plant, but I don't know yet. Right now, we're going to work on step 29. We got to pull these shapes. 2, 2, 6, 2C13. Or 1C13. Then there's paper that's got to be cut out, and I'll show you that. So C13 is on here. There they are. 269 is on here. They have backups. That's why there's the extra wood one, but it's only one piece of the wood. And only one piece of the paper. In case you mess up, you have extra. And if you have a good imagination, it looks almost real. Looks like I'm playing a game of mahjong. But this and that vase looks like it's gonna go onto this table that I'm gonna make next. And all those pieces that I made are gonna go on there. So next step, step 30. We are going to assemble the table and put all the made pieces onto the table, and it's gonna look like that. Okay, so here's C4. And the legs are gonna be G9. G9 is on here. See the legs? They're here. One leg. Then for the last finishing touches, you gotta make chopsticks. So there's a little wire. They're gonna be 6 of them. You gotta cut 8 millimeters and put them side by side. Like, see what's on the plate on the table. Alright, the table's completed. I only put 2 place settings instead of 3. And there you have it. Completed. Step 23. Step 24. Step 25. Step 26. Step 27. Step 28. Step 29. Step 30. And it's all together on the table. And we have our sink and our stove, and it looks like we're throwing a party.